fans, welcome to another day of racing. We have 9 races on the program. First race begins at 12:15 p.m. It's optional claiming 350 down to 250, 6 zeros and up, numbers of 3, a field of 13. This is a very tricky race. Not a suspect horses in this race. However, I'm going to give you 6 of them. 1, Bad Investment. 2, Is a Lion. 3, Angelus. 4, Absolute Blue. 6, John P. 7, Millennium Star. Bad Investment. Third by 7 1/4 length, and last when beaten by 6th Avenue and General Chief. Before that, the $1 million claiming, 5th by 15 length when beaten by Brompton Alex and Prince Aman. Visor off, stable change. Philip Parchment now calls on. Picked up some weight, 57 kilo. However, Bad Investment race against better horses than these. Just to name a few: Kem, Eagle One, Lord of Ajalan, Brampton Alex, as I earlier mentioned, Unruly Dude. Bad Investment. As I said, although picked up some weight, I think this is the horse they will all have to beat. 2, Is a Lion, very fit and consistent horse. Won his 2 last races with Dick Cardenas on board. Will be coming on in deep stretch. And like I said, there are not a suspected horse in this race. Is a Lion is very fit, and Is a Lion can run on, can win this race. So I'm not going to leave Is a Lion out of anything. 3, Angelus. This horse is knocking at the door. Continues to disappoint somehow. However, I think this is a much easier race for Angelus, and I expect Angelus to run a much better race comes Saturday. 4, Absolute Blue, beaten by Top It Good and Last, third by 13 1/4 length. Prior to that, 6 by 10 length when beaten by Air of Fire. This horse has been beaten by some horses with a lot of speed. Phenomenal One, Buzz Assault. Those kind of horses have a lot of speed. This is a much easier pace for Absolute Blue, which is Shakes now calls on. Absolute Blue will be right there in deep stretch. 6, John P. This is another class horse. Race amongst better company than these. Has been very disappointed in his last races. However, this is a much easier race for John P. Has not been holding his gallop, but I think John P will run a much improved race and should be good enough to be in the winner's enclosure. Horse number 7, Millennium Star. Ran well and last, slow into stride when beaten by Silver Fox. He's back now. Raman Napier replaces Philip Parchment. Millennium Star has some amount of ability, and I expect Millennium Star to be right there. There are 2 horses in this race that I didn't mention: Ahmad Ali and Empress Nakila. I know Ahmad Ali will be the favorite, but the last time Ahmad Ali ran, 6 by 6 length, beaten by Phenomenal One and Drifted One. In that same race, Empress Nakila finished 7 by 7.5 length, and this horse was well whispered at the track on that day. So if you're gonna give Ahmad Ali a shot, then you have to give Empress Nakila a look in also. However, I'm going to stick with horse number 1. Bad investment to get the better of Absolute Blue, Angelus, Isa Lion, John P, Millennium Star. Moving on to race number 2, Mr. Lover Lover Trophy, 9 furlong and 25 yards, a field of 6. I'm going to boil it down to 3 of them. 3, Uncle Harry. 4, Lockdown. 6, Perfect Affair. Now, Uncle Harry. 1 pace in his last race when beaten by Prolific Prince. Prior to that, this horse won by 6 lengths, beating the likes of Nebuchadnezzar and Roaring Kitty. Uncle Harry has ability, not working bad. On the 16th of 6, 5 in 102. On the 7th of 6, showed 6 furlong in 125.1. I expect Uncle Harry stable no change. They are called for Radish Room and to run a much improved race. Lockdown, 6 by 9 length in the Guineas on last. Checked out the 2 furlong marker when beat by Sensational Soul and Bob the Builder. Wesley Henry now replaces Paul Francis, 55 kilo. Lockdown continues to improve, and I expect Lockdown to run a brave race. Horse number 6, Perfect Affair, 6 by 15 length, making mild progress in the 1000 guineas, beaten by Burning Edge and Linguist. I expect a much improved run from Perfect Affair. Omar Walker maintains the ride. Last time this horse carried 57 kilo, now 52 kilo. I'm gonna tip Perfect Affair to create a mild upset and to get the better of Lockdown, Uncle Harry. Moving on to race number 3, 4 years and up, none was a 4 imported, 3 years and up, 7.5 furlong. We have a field of 5. I'm not going to waste much time in this race. Ride All Day, horse number 2. This horse is a 5-star banker. Ian Dolly Baby Spence maintains the ride. 1 by 7.25 length on last and beaten Bowmore and Unruly Mo. Came back on the 15th of the 6th, 5 in 101 alongside Magnificent Force. Anything beat Ride All Day will surely win. Like I said, I'm not going to waste much time. I'm going to go with horse number 2, Ride All Day, to make 1 skank to get the better of horse number 4, Riches to Rags. For your trifecta, Blue Sensation. This horse can spoil your exotics. If you look at December 7th, this horse finished 2nd by a length and a quarter to Supremacy, coming 7 furlong. On January 4th, 5.5, this horse finished 3rd by 15 length when beaten by California Crown. And on May 24th, going 7 furlong, Blue Sensation again finished 3rd by 23 lengths behind Incredible Joe and Supernatural Power. So this horse can spoil your exotics and make it very lucrative. However, Ride All Day, horse number 2 is my firm choice to get the better of horse number 4, Riches to Rags, Blue Sensation for your exotics spots. Moving on to race number 4. It's a claiming event, 1 million down to 800. 5 furlong round, a field of 9. Very competitive race. I'm going to go with 7 of them. The only 2 horses I'm leaving out of this race is number 5, Ella Fortunado, and horse number 7, Colorado Ranger. 1, KP Choice. 5th by 12.25 length when beaten by Awesome Anthony and Alexis Lodge. On that day, you have no change stable. Please note, Jason Acosta is the new conditioner. Robert Halladine calls on to do duties. This horse picked up a lot of weight, up now to 57 kilo. Although KP Choice is very fit, very sound, has a lot of speed and pace. 57 kilo coming from post position 1, where you have a lot of horses in this race with a lot of speed. I don't think KP Choice is going to win this race, but I'm not leaving out KP Choice. 2, Emperor of the Cat, very speedy horse. Won and lost by 3 lengths when beating the likes of Jaguar and Spirit of Light. That was 700,000 claiming. Radish Roman now calls to do duties. They are now changed stables. Oral Hayden is the new conditioner. Emperor Cat will be on the headline. Will have company, but could hold on grimly to the end. Alexis Lodge. This horse is getting very fit, fitter and fitter with each run. Last time out, this horse finished second, beaten by Awesome Anthony. Prior to that, second again, beaten by Sugar Daddy. Alexis Lodge will be off the pace. Has a nice ticker work on the 14th of the 6th, 3:36.3. Alexis Lodge will be right there in the final shake-up. Number 4, Rejected Raja, was in that same race when beaten by Awesome Anthony and last. Third by 2 lengths, was seen running on. Before that, second by a length and a quarter, beaten by KP Choice when bumped around. The handicap is now in Rejected Raja favor, because if you look at the last run, Rejected Raja carries 54.5 kilo. On that day, KP Choice carries 54 kilos. Alexis Lodge carries 52 kilos. Now, Rejected Raja is down to 50.5 kilo. Compliments of Jermaine Lewis. He's not one of the more accomplished apprentice. So all this apprentice has to do is to sit, do not fell off this horse. And I think Rejected Raja will beat them come Saturday. This is the handicap horse in this race. 6, Sugar Daddy, very consistent horse, very fit, has a lot of speed, a lot of pace. Layman last prior to race time. However, you can't leave Sugar Daddy out of your race, out of this race. 1, Easy and last, beating Alexis Lodge and Catawba. Prior to that, third by 5 lengths when beaten by Sensational Move and Milos. Sugar Daddy is back, is coming to run, and is a very dangerous horse. Generational Wesley Henry, Fitzgerald Richards, is another fit horse, has a lot of pace, a lot of speed, getting on in ages now, however, maintain most of his ability, and Generational will be right there when this is being decided. Warsaw, this horse is very speedy. You can't leave Warsaw out of your permutations. This horse was beaten by better horses, Fearless Force and Supernatural Power on the last 2 occasions. Prior to that, at the $1 million claiming level, Warsaw won by 7 lengths, beating Power Ranking and Regnant. Emilio McLean is on some very good live rides. Warsaw, they're fighting all the way. However, I'm going to go with Rejected Raja to create a mild upset to get the better of horse number 3, Alexis Lodge, Emperor of the Cat, KP Choice, Sugar Daddy, Generational, Warsaw. This race can go anyway. Very competitive, but I'm going to stick my neck out with horse number 4, Rejected Raja. Moving on to race number 5. Numbers of 2, imported, 4 is on up, maiden, 1 mile. A trip of 7. I'm going to boil it down to just 2 horse. 3, Uncle Peck. 7, Imaya. Uncle Peck, Second by 3.5 on last when beaten by Hit and Run. I gave you Hit and Run on that day. I told you Hit and Run was the lone speed and would go right to the front with Abigail and should hold it to the line, and that's exactly what happened. Now Uncle Peck has a much easier race. All Uncle Peck has to do is to just sit. There's not much speed here, with the exception of Secret Mission, who probably have a little bit of speed. I expect Uncle Peck to just sit and just to run past these in the final 2 or so furlong. Has a nice little work on the 16th of the 6th, 4 and 50 and 3 by 105. And on the outside, horse number 7, Imaya, very disappointing filly. Ran some pretty decent race, however, just not getting her head in front. If there's an upset, look no further than Imaya. But I'm pretty sure Uncle Peck is far, far a better horse than these. And I expect Uncle Peck to win this race quite easily. Horse number 3. For second, horse number 7, Imaya. And for third, horse number 2, Secret Mission. Moving on to race 6. It's a maiden condition race. 3 hills and up. 7.5 furlong. Field of 12. I'm going to go with 6 of them. 3, Alchemy of Souls. 4, Kusme. 5, Don Quezi. 8, Cop Car. 9, Laredo. 11, Star Quest. Alchemy of Souls. Very disappointing horse. Continues to run pretty useful races. I think when trainer Jason Acosta is taking his time with this horse, I expect a very good run from Alchemy of Souls. Last time out, this horse finished 4th by 13.5 length when beaten by Ben Easton and is sensational. Prior to that, 4th by 13 length when beaten by Prolific Prince and Bob the Builder. And you see what Bob the Builder comes back and do in the Guineas. So Alchemy of Souls, amongst these, I expect a much improved run from Alchemy of Souls. 4, Kusme continues to disappoint, I would say. 5th by 16 length on last when beaten by Benson, was in that same race with Alchemy of Souls. However, on the 2nd of the 6th, 5 furlong in 103. So with more improvement, Kusme is expected to run a much improved race. 5, Don Quezi. This horse tries to steal a march on last when ridden by Philip Parchment. They have now taken off the blinkers. The blinker was administered that day, and Don Quezi tried to tear away. They have now removed the blinkers, called for Shane Ellis. I think Don Quezi will be more relaxed, and a much better race is expected, which should be good enough to end up in the winner's enclosure. Horse number 8, Cop Car. 2nd by 10 length on last and beaten by Bob the Builder. This horse has been improving. On the 14th of the 6th, 7 furlong in 135 flat. Cop Car, once again, should run another good race. Laredo. Philip Parchment stuck with this horse. On the 29th of March, going 7 furlong, this horse weakened. On the 3rd of May, this horse going 6.5, again, probably for 3, then weakened. However, on the last occasion, going 5 rounds, this horse slew into stride and run on. I'm not sure what Laredo will do comes Saturday. If Laredo stays, I expect a good run. I'm not sure if this horse wants to sprint or this horse needs a distance of ground based on his style of running. However, has trained pretty decent on the 12th of the 6th, 7 furlong 134.1. So Laredo is one to look out for. The horse I think they will all have to beat is horse number 11, Star Quest. Stowing the stride on last when beaten by Bob the Builder and Cop Car. This horse is improving with each and every run. On the first of the 6, 5.5 in 110 by 104. On the 8th of the 6, 4 in 49.2. And on the 14th of the 6, 6 furlong in 117.2, beating the likes of Mineola. Tongue tie is now on. Robert Aladdin maintains the ride for the 5th consecutive occasion. I think Starcrest is cherry right now, and I expect Starcrest. Book is saying 20-1. I don't think Starcrest is gonna get 20-1. However, this is a nice little upsetter for you folks. So I'm gonna go with Starquest to get the better of horse number 8, Cop Car. Jason Acosta has horse number 3, Alchemy of Souls. For 3rd. For 4th, Kusme, Don Quezi, Loreda, in that order. Very competitive, but I'm gonna stick with horse number 11, Starquest. Moving on to race number 7. It's the 24th anniversary trophy, SBL. 5.5 furlongs, a field of 6. Very competitive. This looks like a 2-horse race. However, I'm going to throw Champion Bubbler in the mix and Wall Street Trader. Therefore, I'm going to go with 4 of them. 1, Champion Bubbler. 3, Digital 1. 4, Legacy Isles. 6, Wall Street Trader. Champion Bubbler. This horse with the figure 8 on, won his last 3 races. They have taken off the figure 8 on last, and you could see where this horse finished second by 4 lengths, running on. The figure 8 is now back on. I think Champion Bubbler will run a much better race and could upset this race. As a nice work on the 15th of the 6th, 3 furlong in 36 flat. Don't leave Champion Bubbler out of your bet. 3, Digital 1. This horse is a change-up horse. This horse was beaten by Tistock on last, second by a head. Blinkers. Sorry, the figure 8 is off. I don't know why they took off the figure 8. However, figure 8 is off. This horse ran his best race in the figure 8. It is now removed. That is just minus for me. Right? However, still gonna stick with this horse, but I don't like the fact that they have removed the figure 8. 4, Legacy Isles. This horse continues to improve. Won and last by 4 lengths, beating Champion Bubbler and Mahogany. As a nice little work on the 14th of the 6th, 3 furlong in 35.2. Legacy Isles continues to improve with each run. Although shoulder with 57 kilo is so classy, Legacy Isles, I think, is the horse they will all have to beat. Horse number 6, Wall Street Trader, was beaten by T-Stock on Digital 1 on that day. Carries 47 kilo, now picks up some weight, 54 kilo. As a very competent rider in Shane Richardson. Wall Street Trader is very fit and can upset if Legacy Isles doesn't put his foot right. Therefore, I'm going to go with horse number 4, Legacy Isles, to get the better of horse number 3, Digital 1. Look for horse number 1, Champion Bubbler, or horse number 6, Wall Street Trader, if there should be an upset in this race. Moving on to race number 8. 4 years and up, none is up, 3 imported. 8 furlongs, field of 7. I'm going to go with 3 of them. 3, Oil Machine. 4, King Pie. 5, Train of Thoughts. Oil Machine. This horse tried to steal home and last when caught by J Speed on last. Dane Dawkins was the rider on that day. They have no call for Radish Roman. I think Oil Machine, although stretches out from 7 furlong. There's an extra furlong to now 8. Oil Machine has enough pace, have speed to go right to that lead and hold it to the line. King Pie, somewhat of a disappointment. This horse has been knocking at the door. Walk out of the box on the 3rd of May when finishing 4th by 5 1/4 length and beaten by Kaylee's Melody and Midnight Galaxy. On the 23rd of May, 4th by 5 1/4 again, beaten by Midnight Galaxy. King Pie with Omar Walker has a nice little work on the 15th of the 6th, 5 in 103. Blinkers now on, tongue tie on, Lasix on again. King Pie is coming to run. Don't leave King Pie, and this horse can upset this race. Horse number 5, Train of Thoughts, has been knocking at the door. 3rd on the last 2 occasions, beaten by Midnight Galaxy on May 23rd, and on the 7th of June was beaten by J Speed. Emilio McLean again on board, replaces Richie Shakes. Anything to beat Oil Machine will be Train of Thoughts or King Pie. However, I'm going to stick with Sneaky Fox. Oil Machine to get the better of horse number 4, King Pie. Train of Thoughts fill that spot, but this race can go either way. Closing out, 9th and final. It's overnight allowance, 5 furlong round, a field of 11. It's a very competitive race. However, I'm going to go with 3 of them. 1, Money Market. 3, California Crown. 6, Major Danger. Money Market has been knocking at the door. This horse has been beaten by some useful horses. Pack Play, Champion Bubbler, Unbelievable Force, Fearless Force, just to name a few. This horse get a relief in the weight. 57 kilo on April 6, 57 kilo on May 25th, 54.5 kilo on June 8th. Now this horse is down to 50.5 kilo, compliments of Emilio McLean. This rider looks like he has a 3-timer locked up. On Sunday the 1st, 3 furlong in 38.2. I think Money Market finally is going to win this race. 3, California Crown. This horse was beaten by Fearless Soul and Last. It was the favorite on that day, all the rage. Still managed to finish 5th by 5 length. Going 5 straight. We're going 5 round. There are some more speed in this race. The likes of Benison, Taurus Boy, Mudshaft, Kem. I don't think California Crown gonna have things his way, carrying 57 kilo. However, Robert Halladine is a very competent rider, and I'm not going to leave out California Crown. But I don't expect California Crown to win this race. Horse number 6, Major Danger. Very dangerous horse, very fit right now. On the last occasion, this horse finished 3rd by 2 lengths and beat by Chocamo. And on the 23rd of May, 2nd by a neck when beat by Interesting Times Ahead. Major Danger, Roddy Showman maintains the ride for the 3rd consecutive occasion, and Major Danger will be storming home. It's good enough to beat these, but I'm going to stick with the handicap horse. Money Market was been knocking at the door. Horse number 1 to get the better of California Crown. Major Danger, horse number 6. Then for 4th, look for Mudshaft. And for 5th, a gift from Ben. That's it for me, racing fans. Continue to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Best of luck. See you at the races.